Ladies and gentlemen, uh, I would now like to introduce Christine Osborne. She is a wellness entrepreneur with years of experience driving employee well-being and productivity across industries. As the co-founder of Company Wellness Solutions, she leads a team that designs tailored wellness programs using data-driven insight and empathetic service. Sorry, Christine also founded MyCare24, a digital health platform connecting individuals with wellness experts for convenient, impactful support. Through both ventures, she empowers organizations and individuals to achieve their wellness goals and unlock their full potential. Over to you, Christine.
Thanks, Chris. Love the introductions here. Best. I'm going to take control quickly so then I can. There we go. Thank you, everyone. This is actually a very exciting topic for me. Why do EAPs fall flat? Right, this is a big topic globally. Just before COVID, you guys were sitting at around a 3% utilization. Now, after COVID, we're sitting at about a 5 to 7% utilization. So it has broken the stigma slightly when it comes to wellness in the workplace. But EAPs specifically are falling flat because of two main reasons. One, you've got a restricted EAP and a disengaged EAP partner. Let's break these down a little bit more so we can see exactly how this is impacted. A limited diversity EAP, there's no diversity in EAPs anymore. We can't expect that the employees can go reach out to a wellness practitioner and not have an option for first language, not have an option for the demographic, even down to the gender. We have to be relatable. We have to be creating that rapport for the employees to be able to feel comfortable speaking about their problems. The reason why EAPs are also very, very flat with utilization is because it's restricted. You can't expect an employee or an individual or a human to deal with the issues in 6 sessions for that year. We need to start looking at EAP providers that have unlimited and uncapped sessions. Underskilled providers, we see it more and more specifically in South Africa that EAPs are being serviced by social workers. This is a very old way of working. Social workers have a space in our economy. They are there to deal with stresses in community and there to deal with the stresses in the homes, not in the workplace. We need to start making sure the EAPs have decent quality service providers in them to support your staff in the right way. Most EAPs have hidden platforms. It's not fair. What we need to do is show everyone those platforms. You need to be mindful when you are choosing these EAP providers. You got to have someone turnkey. When the platforms are hidden, it's because the EAP providers are trying to make more profits based on the low utilization. We've got to drive that utilization up and choose the right partner who wants to see that data. Passive partners, as I said, disengaged wellness partners. Yes, wellness is owned by HR, but it really is up to that service provider to engage with the staff, to provide management with the tools, to ensure that HR has a framework and a wellness program embedded. So there is an element, yes, that the company needs to take ownership of, but people need to find a good EAP partner, a good wellness partner who wants to drive wellness in the workplace. No tools. EAPs are falling flat because no one knows how to refer. No one knows how to use the services. Again, with the hidden platforms, it doesn't help. We need to make sure that these have digital platforms for all LSM levels. We've got to make sure that we touch in every different person and have a platform for everyone. Poor reporting. EAPs are falling flat and wellness programs are not working because no one's actually looking at the data. We need to start looking at the trends. We can't have these wellness days that don't have intention. We need to look at the data, provide the employees with more tools and education relating to the challenges that they're facing. As mentioned by a past speaker there, we've got to focus on group as well as the individuals. Okay, so the solution. Boosting the EAP. What we need to be looking for, right? We need to have a diverse, uncapped support solution. Like I mentioned, we got to be able to create that rapport. Your EAP provider should allow your employees to swap and change service providers or wellness coaches until they feel comfortable with someone. We need to create that inclusivity. We can't not help everyone anymore. We've got to do it for the masses. Got to be flexible. An EAP provider has to work with the company's production, right? So if you have shift workers, if you're a night shift organization, you've got to have an EAP that's going to allow your employees the ability to not have to take off work in order to get that support. So look for that flexibility. You can't have a wellness program that's only available from 8 till 5. It's got to be 24/7. It's got to be available, and that creates trust. Create the visible platforms. Again, ensure you have an EAP that has a toll-free number all the way through to a digital app. We've seen more and more, a lot of organizations are adopting an AI EAP tech-based solution, which is not actually giving support. Half your staff can use it. The lower LSM can't. You've got the workforce that's not been able to tap into the solution. And again, AI can only help you so much. We've got to make sure the platforms are visible and that you have a number of them. Regular engagement. Again, we've got to be intentional. If you're not engaging with your staff, they're not going to know that the EAP exists. If we're talking wellness, we're talking EAP, we're focusing on the brand that's supposed to support their employees, people become trustworthy. They start understanding that it's there. It becomes part of the company culture. And this is why these regular campaigns are so important in an organization. Empower your managers and HR. This builds a wellness culture. Yes, they're there to refer, but they also need to understand how to use the service for themselves. If burnout starts from the top, it really has an effect on the bottom. We've got to make sure everyone's taken care of and in the same manner. Real-time dashboards. You as an organization should be able to make decisions fast. You can't wait for a quarterly report when it comes to wellness. You need to be able to see right now, today or tonight, what's going on in your organization. This helps you mitigate risks. This will lay down the foundation for lower injuries on site, lower absenteeism, lower presenteeism. You need to be able to see what's going on in your organization through the EAP. So we have to boost the utilization so we can see the different trends. Okay, get an engaged partner. The only way those EAPs are going to be increased is if you have a partner that wants that utilization. Find a partner that looks for that data. Find a partner that has other services that's connected to that data, so then you can have a holistic wellness partner. Okay, so this is my little case study. I find it quite fascinating. We were lucky enough to have actually a few retailers, but this is two of my largest retailers, stay with us for about 3 years. And I try to show you how utilization can actually be kept up. So the difference between my two retailers is that the one started with a very big launch, very successful, but then decided to slowly taper off wellness, didn't really have much of a program in place, kind of got forgotten, lost in the mix, and the engagements were very far and few between. We see in the white side of things here, on the white line, that this service provider, or sorry, this retailer, they decided to do a smaller little launch and continuous little engagement. So let me show you here. There's your launch day. These two providers came from an external EAP, and the one had an in-house EAP where they were supporting through the on-site clinic. They were all sitting below 3%. The one was 3% and 2% utilization before they came onto our program. We saw with an impactful launch, you got around about a 7 to 10% increase in utilization, and that stayed there as a stagnant just by educating your employees on what the service has and the limitations of it. The little purple dots were continuous intentional, beg your pardon, engagements, focusing on burnout, dragging them back into the EAP, focusing on physical wellness, dragging them back into the EAP for support. Wellness days, again, very important to make sure that we check in the wellness stats of your employees. But one wellness day a year where Discovery comes in, pricks everyone and leaves is not going to make a difference. We need to be intentional. We need to tie things back into the EAP, and we need to be running wellness days that are looking at the data and the trends so we can give your employees the tools. We launched within the 3 years that we had the two retailers. We launched an HR portal that came with a lot of tools, a lot of referrals, a lot of induction programs. That created an increase of 7% across the board, right? Finding an EAP provider, again, who's looking to be innovative, looking to create more solutions for the organization is really what you guys need to find. There's your management portal, providing more tools. There's another wellness day. So we can clearly see in order to keep the utilization, you can't just have a tick box type EAP. It's got to be moving, it's got to be growing, it's got to be diverse, and it's consistently changing as well. So you have to be able to pivot, and you need a partner to pivot with you. I wanted to give everyone here quick ways to boost your EAP. If you may not have the right partner right now, it's not the end of the world. There are definitely ways that we can quickly get that utilization. Firstly, managerial directives. Top down, guys. We need to provide a little cheat sheet for everyone, make a nice little referral form for the management, have a quick session with them, explain how to do it, make sure they understand the limitations of the EAP before they go speaking to the staff. You don't want to create disengagement in the product either. Okay, employee education and reminders. Quickly, if you have an EAP, make sure you schedule short little intermittent educational workshops. Make sure you have monthly comms. Stick with the program, push the program, do little desk drops. Make sure the program is in everyone's face all the time. Do a little micro launch of a campaign and tie it back into the EAP, exactly like I was saying. There's nothing stopping the organization from downloading a nice burnout article, connecting those platforms onto that article, sharing with the teams and sharing with the individuals to really tie things back. We can't be providing people with education and no place to go get the support. So you really got to make sure you tie those two in. Cool. Simplify the access. Go check your EAP right now, see what platforms you have, identify 2 main platforms for your organization that's going to work for you. You don't need to market all 7 of them. Choose what's going to work for your organization and your employees. Consider the tech capabilities. Consider when they go home, they may not have data. Consider that they may not have a big smartphone that can actually hold a very big app. Take those 2 platforms, post it on all of your employee education. If you can put it on the pay slip, put it on the pay slip. You really got to have it everywhere. Okay, create trust. Share your success stories. Try find a champion. Try find someone in the workplace who wants to drive this. The more an employee talks about how they've been helped, the more other employees want to get helped. This is breaking the stigma. This is getting people to talk about their wins. Post it. Make a newsletter internally about how someone's growing, how someone's been helped. This is really going to create that trust. Action those insights. We see it over and over again that wellness partners are coming in, assessing the organization, but actually not doing anything afterwards. Employees are getting upset that they are doing these assessments, but no one's actually hearing them. So make sure when you do something and you identify trends and you identify different insights in your data, that then you provide the employees with something tangible, right? Whether it be a little burnout workshop, whether it be a Roma dough making stalls, something fun, something to say that you have heard them. Okay, now this is what you should be getting from your EAP partner, right? And this is my last slide, so I did want to put it here. You need to find a long-term partner that's going to be engaged with an uncapped EAP that's diverse enough and inclusive enough for South African employees and any other organization or up Africa or globally. Have something that's consistent. You should be seeing a return on investment. For every R1 spent, you get R3 back. You should see that decrease in absenteeism and presenteeism. Guys, this is costing presenteeism, it's costing the economy. I think I checked last, 235 billion rand. This is low-hanging fruit. We can tap into this quite quickly. Help your employees solve their day-to-day challenges through a good program, right? I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry if I did talk a bit fast. I do get excited about these topics in the EAP. I hope I managed to provide a little bit of information to everyone as well. And back over to you, Chris.